What's up, amigos? It's the Project Maker Minute with yours truly, Chris Lewitt. As you may know, I'm the former #1 for Cornell University, pro circuit player, elite junior development coach, and author and educator, author of The Secrets of Spanish Tennis and the Tennis Technique Bible. On this Project Maker Minute, I just wanted to answer a question that we got in our YouTube community. We have a lot of people who post comments and ask me questions. We have a nice, vibrant community that we're building here of intelligent tennis minds and intelligent tennis conversation, as opposed to some of the other things you may get on the internet or on YouTube. But the question was, and I think there was some confusion when I was talking about Borg and Borg being the prototype for the modern Spanish game. And that's exactly it, according to the research that I did and the interviews that I did in Spain when I first wrote the book, particularly from Luis Brugueras. Luis made it very clear to me that Bjorn Borg, who, this is, I'm sort of dating back to like the 70s. Borg was a huge influence on Spain, just in the way he played for Luis Bruguera. And I would argue probably for Pato Alvarez, although I never got Pato Alvarez on the record saying this. Those are the two, grandfathers, the big gorillas of Spanish tennis who changed the entire landscape in Spain, Luis Bruguera and Pato Alvarez. But Luis Bruguera in particular told me directly that he loved the game of Borg, and he taught his son, Sergi Bruguera, who ended up winning 2 French Opens and made #3 in the world, and really started the Spanish rise to the top of the world. In the 1990s, Sergi won the French Open in 93 and 94 consecutively back-to-back, which was a huge deal in Spain at the time because it ended a drought for the men. It ended a 18-year drought, a Grand Slam drought. So it was a huge deal for Sergi to win that slam. And Luis modeled his game after Borg. And you can see the similarities. You see the way Borg played in the 70s and 80s. And basically, it looks like a lot of the Spanish players of the later 80s and 90s copied him. And Luis basically told me that. He said, I love the game of Borg. I tried to teach my players to play like Borg. Borg had, he was not Spanish, obviously, but he was very steady. He was not typical, not like some of the other Swedish players, like some of the serve and volleyers. But Borg was incredibly steady, patient, tremendous fitness, great movement and runner. And he had the beginnings of that modern, he sort of foreshadowed the modern topspin whippy forehand, and he had the good topspin backhand as well. And very good passing shots, very good counter punching. And I think that what I was saying in the previous video that sort of, someone questioned me about, that was the prototype for the Spanish players that would come after the 70s and early 80s. And so just to be clear on that. And I don't think that's in dispute. I mean, I guess we could debate that, but I think that's kind of fascinating too when you think about it. But you can see if you look at the way Borg played, and then if you see some of the Spanish players coming onto the world stage, I think you can really see the similarities, and it was not by accident. So Borg was the model for Spain, and of course now you see the Spanish game evolving with someone like Carlos Alcaraz. He may change the entire landscape in Spain. The way he plays, he doesn't play a lot like Borg. He has some of the aspects of Borg, but he plays a much more aggressive attacking game, and he takes more risks. So this may change a lot the way they teach in Spain. This could change the whole model of development in Spain. We have to wait and see what happens if other Spanish players play more like Alcaraz, or if the original Spanish, I say like classic modern, so not going back pre 1970, but if the players from the 80s and mid to late 80s and 90s and 2000s, if that style remains, or if Alcaraz just evolves the entire system in Spain, changes everything. We have to wait and see. So Borg to Alcaraz, Borg to Sergio Bruguera to Alcaraz to Carl. We had Carlos Moya. We had Juan Carlos Ferrero. It's an interesting evolution, but it all started with this guy Borg, who was an amazing. Borg had such an interesting game, technically, tactically, psychologically, and Borg foreshadowed the modern game of tennis, especially with some of his techniques like the forehand. And Spain was ready to oblige, and they Luis Bruguera saw that, and he tried to build a whole country of Borgs with a lot of success. Guys, if you like this Prodigy Maker Minute, please check out my big show, the Prodigy Maker Show. It's a live show that we do on this YouTube channel, and it's also available as a podcast on all your favorite podcasting platforms. Thanks, guys. I'll see you on the next program.